Americans quit jobs at a record pace during the second half of 2021, and more plan to change careers in 2022. Besides focusing on what the job is, more of us now care about where we can do it. A new survey reveals both employees and employers are reaping the benefits from remote work, but there are also big risks. Join us to talk about the survey and what the future of American workplaces look like is digital consultant Harold Sanat and Vice President of Ivanti, David Shepard. Good morning, you two. How are you doing?
Hey, great, thanks.
Good morning.
So, David, let's talk. Let's talk about everywhere the workplace survey, and of course, what we're finding. This survey is telling us about working.
Yeah, no problems at all. And it's a great time to do this survey because what we've been through in the last 2 years has driven this anywhere, everywhere, remote style of working. And so some of the stats that we can see in the survey aren't that surprising, that people are attached to working from everywhere, but others are slightly more kind of eye-opening. For example, 71% of respondents said they would actually prefer to work from anywhere than take a promotion, and 64% of that 71% said they would even consider taking a pay cut. So that just shows the extent and the depth at which this change in work culture has brought this kind of, well, we don't have to be, we can still be productive whether we're in an office or not. On that note, 42% of the survey field did say that they would actually prefer a hybrid model. So a mixture of, anywhere remote, but also having the ability to go to an office, to meet up with a team, to collaborate, just to have some face-to-face time, water cooler conversations, those sort of things. But on the flip, 13% of the employees surveyed said that they would never want to work permanently in an office again. So you can see there just the depth and the strength of people's feeling around this new everywhere workplace model that everybody seems to want to do.
Oh my goodness! Wow, I never thought those numbers were like that. That's amazing. And Harold, let's talk about your view. What does Americans' workplace look like moving forward? Since we're hearing these numbers.
Well, the interesting thing is that now we are talking more about the employee experience. Now we're talking more from a different perspective. We were thinking that work was only in a place, in a location where the company is. Now we're starting to think in a different way because a lot of people discover with all the problems that the pandemic brought, discovered that there is an opportunity to live in a different way, with a different balance, a balance between work and life that before was not so easy to understand. So from the employee perspective and from the company perspective, we have a lot of opportunities that we need to think broadly, we need to think wisely in terms of making this employee experience much more good, for more productive. I mean, it's productive because we know that it's productive to work remotely, but make it like a norm, make it that part of our culture, make it part of incorporated in our policies. And we need to also think how we're going to be hiring people remotely. We are doing that for a long time, but now we have to think it like not only in a location, but all over the world. So this brings opportunity for diversity, for also to work on those disparities that we find when we talk about gender. Sometimes we have discrimination. There are some findings in the survey about how women are reporting negative effects, or they're experiencing negative effects from remote work, that all organizations need to make sure that we address that.
I'll tell you, hearing all this is just amazing how we're going to be working like this. David, let's talk about your company and how this is going to help with this, of course, change in the workplace.
Yeah, of course. And look, at Ivanti, we've been talking about the everywhere workplace now for quite a considerable amount of time, really, and it's part of the vision that we're doing to bring all this together. But what we want to do is give a consistency around employee experience. We want the business leaders to be able to know that actually they can allow their employees to work in a hybrid style if they want, but at the same time know that the employee is going to still be productive, going to still be able to access the resources they need, and actually have a consistent experience between being in an office or being at home, or do you know what, maybe being on a beach, I don't know, but anywhere. But also around that, an organization has to ensure that their employee is secure, and that their devices or whatever they're accessing from are safe and will not bring any, bad stuff into the organization, for want of a better description. So at Ivanti, we offer solutions that kind of bring all that together and allow organizations to really push the everywhere workplace as well.
Yeah, I know we got to wrap up very quickly. I just want one more question to Harold. Harold, very quickly, I mean, what's going to go on with the workforce when we, start to get back to a traditional office time? Are we going to see that all very quickly?
It's about time, but some companies are already starting to bring people back to the office. I would say a lot are more choosing the hybrid work model, that is maybe a couple of days a week that you can choose. You are at the office, and all the rest of the time working from everywhere.
Wow, it's amazing. I tell you, this is such a great survey. Where can we find out more information about the survey and, of course, what you guys have been talking about?
Yeah, so www.ivanti.com, that'll give you everything around the solutions that we've discussed. And then if you go to ivanti.com/report, that will give you all the data and all the insights into what Harold and I have talked about today.
Wow. David, Harold, thank you very much for joining us this morning, and thank you for this great information.
Thank you.
Oh, my pleasure. Our pleasure.